A pair of moons hung high in the western sky, locked in an eternal chase with one another as they sped through the void. The first moon was large and ponderous as it crossed the firmament, casting a bright crimson light everywhere it glanced, making it appear as if the night itself were on fire. Far ahead of its crimson mate, a much smaller and nimble orb sped through the starry night, its pale azure hue much too weak to challenge the glow of its larger sibling. Perched on the far edge of the northwestern horizon, the azure moon began its descent as the dawn of a new day broke to the east. "Charge!" My hoarse voice barked out as I sprinted through the morning twilight, kicking up a spray of dew behind me. The sound of thundering feet echoed in my ears, drowning out the crash of the battle before me. A surge of magic sliced through the air, brutally ravaging the bandits' rear ranks, causing them to turn at the unexpected assault. I saw a wave of terror ripple through their line as they spotted us charging out of the night, desperately scrambling to meet our attack. They were far too slow. Our vanguard slammed into the panicking horde, overrunning and trampling all in their path as they forced their way towards the front of the battle. In their wake, they left chaos and confusion as shell-shocked bandits picked themselves off the ground, wondering what force of nature had just run them over. Then our second line arrived. I slammed into a gray armored bandit, knocking the rising half-elf back to the ground, plunging razor deep into the fallen adventurer's back. Barely breaking my stride, I leaped over the body with a single thought dominating my mind as I forced myself deeper into the chaos. I hope we're not too late. A heartbeat later, my sprint carried me through the bandits' shattered battle line, the few survivors of our surprise attack fighting fiercely in rapidly shrinking pockets. I carefully picked my way through the bodies littering the ground under my feet as I ran deeper into the chaos. I saw the bodies of uniformed guards lying beside others that could have only been settlers, both caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, but neither hesitating to give up their lives as they stood up to the bandits' sudden raid. Running hard, I worked to regain my lost speed, tearing my attention from the fallen and instead fixating on an overturned wagon ahead of me. With a quick gesture of my hand, I triggered a spell, immediately feeling lighter on my feet. A gentle hop easily took me to the top of the capsized wagon, and then a powerful leap sent me high into the sky. Acrid smoke and a wash of heat greeted me as I surveyed the battlefield from above, my augmented vision cutting through the twilight, allowing my eyes to drink in every detail as I momentarily hung free from gravity's grasp. Chaos reigned everywhere I looked, with more than half of the bandits still unaware of our arrival. I saw dozens of wagons, carts, and carriages spread out below me, some having circled next to one another for protection against the bandits' attack. Draft animals wailed with terror as flashes of magic illuminated the morning's dawn, the constant thunderclaps of concussive spells doing little to drown out their sounds. Damn! I spotted a pair of bloody defenders collapse as a group of 6 bandits overwhelmed them, opening a clear path to a cowering mass of travelers huddled next to a heavily laden cart. As the other bandits bent down to loot the fallen defenders, I saw one marauder dart forward, moving directly towards the now panicking travelers. My cloak billowed out around me as gravity finally began to pull me back down. "Here we go!" I tightened my grip on Razor, focusing on the over-eager bandit, and triggered Blink Step. The world blurred for the briefest of instants before I landed on the bandit's back, chopping Razor deep into his shoulder as I rode him to the ground. Chancing a quick glance upward, I saw the eyes of the cringing travelers widen in surprise at my arrival. Gritting my teeth, I tore my blade out of the stunned marauder and thrust it viciously into the back of his neck, feeling his body go limp under me. Standing up slowly, I turned to face the other bandits that lagged behind their late friend. 2 humans. Possibly scouts or rogues, plus an elf that looks like a mage. I dispassionately analyzed the attackers as they gaped at my sudden appearance. The half-orc might be a shaman, and that dwarf is almost definitely a warrior. What the hell?" one of the human bandits shouted, his eyes flicking to his comrade's fallen form. "Where the fuck did he just come from?" "Well, look at that, boys! Someone else wants to play hero!" The dwarven warrior laughed derisively as he motioned his companions forward. "Let's show 'em what the grey devils do to heroes." "Careful, Phil! You don't look right," the second human bandit called out cautiously. "They're There's something going on! That's all anyone sees now, I thought as I offered the bandits a bitter smile, having seen the same reaction countless times over the last few weeks. A gaunt, scarred man with skin far too tight for his bones. With a burst of cold anger, I leaped forward, covering the short distance between me and the dwarven bandit in the blink of an eye. Caught completely flat-footed, the overconfident dwarf had let his shield arm droop and was still bringing up his axe when I stabbed a crackling razor into the meat of his arm, discharging a shocking touch into his body. Ah! The dwarf yelped in pain, his axe falling from his spasming hand. Twisting my blade, blood sprayed all over the dwarf's powdery gray leather armor as I pirouetted to the side, evading a reflexive swipe from his shield. Completing my spin, I shifted ever so slightly to let a gleaming short sword pass by my hip harmlessly, finding myself staring into the eyes of one of the human bandits. His eyes flared with horror when my free hand grabbed his outstretched wrist and yanked him forward, right into Razor's path. The battle-worn sword viciously chopped into the base of the bandit's unarmored neck. Fueled by adrenaline and the need for speed, I ruthlessly sawed the blade into the bandit's flesh before tearing it free, causing a gout of blood to erupt from the massive wound. Pulling even harder on the now screaming bandit's arm for a second time, I hauled him completely off balance and sent him staggering into the dwarven bandit behind me. "Damn it, Welton! Get it together!" I heard the dwarf yell in anger before realizing the extent of his friend's injury. "Oh, shit! Wasn't! Welton needs heals before he bleeds out!"
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.